What if the story of our past rests on foundations that were never meant to be stable? For centuries, we were taught that civilization rose slowly from the Mediterranean, that knowledge flowed outward from Rome, Athens, and the Near East into a primitive Europe. But what if that direction was reversed? What if the North was not the student, but the teacher? Scattered across forgotten texts and suppressed traditions lies the trace of an ancient European civilization. One erased so thoroughly that even its memory was declared impossible. Yet in the 19th century, a manuscript emerged that refused to stay buried. It claimed that long before classical antiquity, a powerful northern society existed, organized, literate, technologically advanced, and that its destruction reshaped the entire world. This document does not politely ask to be considered. It demands that history be reconsidered. A manuscript that should not exist. The text surfaced publicly in the Netherlands, preserved by generations who believed its contents were dangerous. Its opening lines read like a warning, not a story. A father writes to his son, urging him to guard the knowledge at all costs. He speaks of floods, persecution, and deliberate destruction of truth. He insists the writings must never fall into the hands of religious authorities, accusing them of rewriting the past to erase ancient freedoms. Why would a historical record need to be hidden under threat of death? Because it described a world that contradicted everything later power structures depended on. The year the world broke. The manuscript places a planetary catastrophe at a precise moment over 4,000 years ago. Not a local flood. Not a myth. But an event so vast that civilizations across the globe collapsed almost simultaneously. Egypt's old kingdom fell. Mesopotamian empires vanished. Cultures in the Indus Valley and ancient China declined together. Modern historians long struggled to explain why. The manuscript offers one answer. A massive oceanic disaster, likely triggered by tectonic failure or cosmic impact, sent unimaginable waves across the North Atlantic, destroying coastal lands and permanently altering geography. A homeland was swallowed by the sea. And with it, a civilization. Survivors, not savages. According to conventional history, Europe at this time was backward, tribal, illiterate, technologically inferior. But the manuscript tells a radically different story. It describes a federation in the north with organized law, advanced metallurgy, long-distance navigation, and complex social systems. Writing existed. Astronomy was practiced. Women held authority. Governance was collective rather than tyrannical. When disaster struck, the survivors did not lose their knowledge. They carried it with them. The Great Migration south. Driven from their submerged homeland, fleets moved southward into the Mediterranean. The manuscript claims that refugees from the north founded or fundamentally reshaped cities later credited to others. They brought agriculture, engineering, and written systems to regions previously fragmented and undeveloped. In this telling, classical civilizations were not creators, but inheritors. Even legendary seafaring cultures appear here not as mysteries, but as displaced northerners rebuilding what was lost. Traces across continents. The migration did not stop at Europe's edge. The text describes movements eastward across deserts and mountains into Central and South Asia. It links northern exiles to early Indo-European cultures, noting parallels in language, ritual, and cosmology. Centuries later, discoveries in remote deserts revealed preserved bodies with unexpected features: light hair, woven textiles, advanced tools, dated precisely to the period described. History had no easy explanation. The manuscript already had one. The detail that changed everything. Among all its claims, one small observation stands out. During the catastrophe, the chronicler notes something strange. The sun no longer followed its old path. For a pre-modern observer, this is an extraordinary thing to record. Not metaphor. Not myth. A physical change in the sky. Only modern science would later understand that massive impacts can shift Earth's axial orientation, altering how the sun appears to rise. This detail could not have been guessed. It could only have been witnessed. A history we were never meant to remember. If even fragments of this account are true, then the story of civilization must be rewritten. Not as a slow rise from chaos, but as a cycle of brilliance, destruction, and survival. A free and advanced culture once existed. It was lost to the sea, and its heirs became the founders of the ancient world. History may be written by victors, but truth has a way of resurfacing. Sometimes, from the ocean floor.